Well, good evening, and welcome to the Sports Empire Network. This is the New Year's, and the way to kick off the New Year's is the most the best podcast that you'll find. The Three Shot Podcast with me. I'll be one of the hosts. My name is Freddie Henderson, joined by my brother. He's kind of down tonight. You know, the Cowboys losing. He's kind of sad. He's kind of moping. But we got Doug. What's going on, Doug?
My crowd don't think so. Whenever I show up, man, it's energetic. And I don't know what you talking about, man. You starting the show off on the wrong foot already. Look, I'm gonna be quiet for I to get into you now. Stop it. What's going on? Hey, everybody.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised that she was still gonna be on the show because I was afraid. I was scared. I was scared that I was gonna get one of those texts that I'm a little bit too big time for you now. She met the GOAT last night in LeBron. So the sports sensei, what's going on, sis?
Listen, I am in an excellent mood today. As you let the people know, I did meet the GOAT last night. It was a GOAT sighting last night, so it was a very good night. But I'm never too big for my boys, man. You gotta remember where you come from. You know what I'm saying? So I'm riding with y'all. I'm excited to talk about the topics today. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Big time. I'm surprised you didn't correct me and say that there's only one big time. So you must be really legit, sis.
One more time, my crowd knew.
I know who the real big time is.
You're in violation all day long, but I'm not gonna do that. We got a lovely young guest here. We ain't gonna go, like that. But make no mistake about it, I am big time. There's just no doubt about it.
A fact.
Well, shout out to you, Anthony. What's going on, brother? Hey, shout out to all the followers, the viewers. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to us, follow the Sensei on all her social media platforms. Follow Doug, the Big Time platform as well. But let's get into it. We're going to kick off the show a little bit different than we normally want to do, but we all know what happened on last Monday. We almost witnessed a tragedy on the football field on Monday Night Football. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Buffalo Bills with Damar Hamlin. He suffered, a hit, and he was down for like 9 minutes on the field, CPR, and we all know what comes with that. I'm gonna ask Doug, I'm gonna ask Sensei, because he's still fighting, you guys. Even though he's doing better, he's still fighting, and we've seen what prayer can do. We've seen what prayer can do. So let's just give a 30-second moment of silence. Say what kind of prayer you want, just for respect of him. So that's how we'll kick the show off. Yeah, so just make sure him and his families and his prayers. The good thing is, last couple of days they've been giving out really great updates on him. He was able to FaceTime his teammates. The first thing that they said that this guy did was write down, did we win? And then the doctors pretty much said, yeah, you won. Doug, I'm gonna let you kick it off on this topic. Your thoughts and concerns. Were you okay? How did the NFL handled the situation? Were you okay with everything? Just let us know your remarks on it.
This is 3 hours. 3 shots of podcast. So what we don't do is, at least what I don't do, is we don't say the status quo response. Let me go ahead and just say this. Now I'm gonna kick it off with a bang. No, I'm not happy with the NFL because NFL at the time wanted to keep playing. It was the players and the coaches who decided not to play, rather than the NFL going. They just got along and tag team along with it. And now they're looking like they're superstars when really they wanted to continue the game. We've had plenty of people who have maybe not on this level that this type of tragedy came. But usually when somebody goes off on on a card or anything else, they just many guys were cried, many guys were had emotions, not to this level, but they decided to play. It was the coaches, Coach McDermott and Coach Taylor of Cincinnati. The players had decided on the sideline before the coaches had talked that they weren't, in a position to play, and they did not want to play. So I'm not giving the NFL giving the credit to them when the credit does not belong to them. It belonged to those players. They put their foot down, and the NFL really didn't have a choice but to respond. And I just leave it there. I want to go ahead and shift it off to somebody else because there's a whole lot of meat on that bone that we can go with. But no, I'm not happy about the NFL. I can't give them credit for what somebody else did.
All right, Sensei.
I'm gonna have to agree with Big Time on that. Definitely not happy with the NFL and what took them so long is kind of what my question was. There's no way it should have took an hour for them to cancel that game. After you've seen the response from not only the Bills players, but the Cincinnati Bengals players, to the coaches, to some of the fans, like there's no way that anybody was in the right state of mind to play any football that night. At that point, once somebody is getting CPR and has to be resuscitated and they're carted off the field and they don't give that thumbs up, at that point it has to become bigger than football. It has to become bigger than the money. It's got to become bigger than the corporation. It's about a young man's life. That young man was fighting for his life, and like Freddie said at the beginning of the show, still continuing to fight. Like obviously he's doing a lot better, but at that particular time, there's no way it should have took an hour for them to cancel that game. So I can't pat them on the back for that either. On top of the fact, I really would like for sports, just in general, any major sport, when something like that happens where somebody is not moving on the field or on a basketball court or on a baseball field, can we not have the cameras panning around them? Because at the end of the day, like they have family at home that are probably watching on TV, watching in the stands. Like I think I read a story that he has a 7-year-old brother that he was screaming once he saw what happened, and like how they kept replaying it and kept showing it on TV and kept panning the camera around him. Like that's not okay. Like at the end of the day, they have family and they have to live with that for the rest of their lives, regardless of what the result is. So I really hope that going forward, they can figure out a better way to handle stuff like that, because unfortunate things do happen. That's not preventable, but we can prevent how it's covered and exposed. Because that probably made me the most uncomfortable outside of him being hurt. It's just the constant replay and the fact that they just kept putting that camera in that young man's face.
You guys both brought up a lot of great points. The NFL, I was watching the game with my mom, and I was saying, I hope the NFL don't get this one wrong. Because time after time after time, no matter what the situation is, it seemed like Roger Goodell in the NFL, they find a way to get it wrong. And it took, like one of you guys said, it took the coaches to say, no, we're not playing the football game. Because we heard Troy Aikman say that they're the officials giving them 5 minutes to get back, to get warmed up, to get ready to play football. But we've seen grown men on their knees crying. Grown men on both sides. That's how we know that it was important. It wasn't about football. They cared less about football. Football is last. Because we're talking about a man dying on the football field, literally. This guy was down for 9 minutes.
He was dead, Freddie. He was dead.
Yeah, exactly.
You hear the word CPR.
Yeah, that means yeah.
Yeah,
that means they got to bring you back, and they had to bring him back twice. From what they were saying. Yeah.
If it was not for the emergency crew on that football field, and it's very sad that we still have people in the media, people in the world to worrying about fantasy, people in the world worrying more about a football game than a man's life. It's sad, and you just have to kind of reflect on yourself and just sit there and say, what are we talking about? We had Skip Bayless with his tweets. We're going to go over that in a few minutes. I mean, it's just really sad, and I just want to give my opinion about these upcoming athletes that's chasing the bag that have opportunity to get big paychecks. This next one, we know about Lamar Jackson. Lamar, my brother. We know the playoffs is next week. We understand that. But this is me coming to you, brother. Do not step on that football field if they are not willing to pay you. If the Baltimore Ravens is not willing to give you that bag, do not do not step foot on that field, because that shows that they do not believe in you. What else do you have to do to get paid? I mean, you're a guy that has won a playoff game. You're a guy that's taken his team to the playoff. You're a guy that has won an MVP. What else in the NFL do you have to do to prove that you're worthy and getting the bag? If I had any encouragement to you, do not sign a contract. Get out of Baltimore. Go somewhere that they will appreciate you, and that goes to any athlete out there, because you see that it can be any moment, it can be any day, and it can be any time where your life is on the line. In playing those type of sports, because it's a dangerous sport. And DeMar, we just pray that you fight through this, and we want to see you get 110% better and recover from this. And it's just amazing to see that all the people that's praying for him, all the people that are sending love to him and his family, and it's just good to see that he beat the odds, because the odds said that he wasn't going to make it. Let's just be honest, but he beat the odds.
Let me add to that real quickly before we jump off the topic, or before our lovely co-host says something. Listen, the NFL players have agreed on something. A bigger picture is, to make a long story short, in order to be vested into the NFL, you have to play 3 years. That's when you get your pension. 3 years. This is really the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
He only played 2. So as much love and all this hand clapping, and we prayed for him, and God has brought him through, with the NFL change, because you added another game onto the schedule,
Mm-hmm.
which means you put these guys' body at risk even more. Okay, somebody need to change something, because if I'm putting my body on the line every week, and you've added more weeks to it. I mean, I got 2 legs. I was born with 2 legs. It ain't no spare parts. You understand? The heart, I get hit there. It's a freak. It's a freak accident, but it happened. Since it happened, that doesn't mean it can't happen to nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Something needs to change where these guys get the guaranteed money. Oh, I'm sorry. This is where we are. Somebody needs to do something. At least if they play for the NFL, they at least need to get. It shouldn't be 3 years. It almost should be immediately. That you putting your body on line. What if a guy get paralyzed in his first year, after you finish praying for him, after you finish clapping for him, after the whole world gets behind him? What is the NFL going to do to take care of these young brothers? That because we don't know if this man is going to play football again. We don't know that. And that was a dream of his. And fortunately, most of you know, he's getting paid. They agreed, the NFL and the Players Association agreed to pay him for the rest of this year. Yeah, they're going to honor his contract. But what about next year? If he can't play, he only played 2 years. So technically speaking, he's not vested enough to get a pension check for the rest of his life. I think he deserves that. So that's my real take on it. The bigger picture, just not now. Because, see, it's going to get real quiet about Damar Hamlin here in a few more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say nothing about him too much like they're saying now.
Mm-hmm.
What is the NFL going to do, to cover this man for the rest of life for sacrificing his body like that? That's just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree. Right. I agree.
We're going to still talk about Mr. Hamlin, but we're going to talk about 2 other individuals. During that night, Skip Bayless decided that he was going to take his thoughts to Twitter, like he always do. And I'm paraphrasing when I'm saying this, but he basically said, "Are we really about to postpone a football game for this?" Like, to me, it was like he was putting football. He cared more about football than this man dying on a football field. And there's a lot of people that did not agree with him. There's a lot of people that have came at him for that. Even his co-host and Shannon Sharp. Um, and we've all, if you have not seen Shannon the next day on that Tuesday, he didn't show up to work. He didn't show up to the set. We all figured why. And then Wednesday he came back and he pretty much, was going to his monologue and explaining, but Skip was interrupting him. Shannon said that he wished that Skip would take his tweets down. Skip said that I'm not taking he's not taking his tweets down. And we seen the anger in the eyes of Shannon, and I'm going to commend Shannon Sharp. Hey, Skip, you're lucky that you seen an old school Shannon, a guy that might be a little bit more wiser, a guy that might be a little bit more smarter, that he's not going to jeopardize the bag. Because if Shannon Sharp was one of those guys that is not as intelligent, that's not as smart, that's not as wise, you might would have got something on set right then and there. Just saying.
Agreed.
But is this the last of Shannon and Skip on Undisputed? Will this be the last year for them two? Do you guys see a breakup coming there?
I do. I've seen a breakup coming for a long time, even before this. I don't know if you guys recall a couple weeks, or I don't know if it was a couple weeks or a couple months prior, when they got into it about Tom Brady and how Skip kind of trying to demean in a way Shannon Sharp, and Shannon Sharp wasn't feeling that. So I think at that point, to see Shannon Sharp get that emotional behind that, and then to follow up with this and see how fed up he was to the point where he was just like, it got awkward almost, for a second, like when they went back and forth, and then he was just like, let's just go on, because he didn't want to do it anymore. So I definitely think that this is treading towards the end of Undisputed. Now, how long that's going to take is yet to be seen. I don't know if it'll be this year or next. I don't obviously know how their contracts work, or how many years they signed on for. Well, yeah, big time. I know you can probably inform them better than I can, but I definitely see the ending's coming soon for sure, because people like Skip, especially when it comes to this newer generation, and especially with the newer of athletes, not only athletes but analysts as well, they ain't gonna tolerate people like Skip. So Skip is on his way out, especially as conscious as people are, as woke as people are, as much as literally every single thing that you do, the way that you breathe, the way that you walk, the way that you talk is discussed, especially if you're in the public eye. It's not going to be room for guys like Skip no more. So Skip is going to have to find a new gimmick, because let's be real. What Skip does is a gimmick. He don't really believe half of the stuff that he says, but he knows it's going to push the envelope. He knows it's going to cause conversation. So that's why he does what he does. Like I said, at this point, he going to have to find a new gimmick, because somebody ain't going to play with Skip. Shannon Sharp is, like you said, is wise enough and intelligent enough to let me not mess up my bag. Let me continue to get my money and let me not mess up, future jobs if I do decide to leave Undisputed. But everybody ain't gonna have that restraint. So that's just my opinion. But I mean, big time. Go ahead.
Well, let's go with this, Freddie and Sensei. Let's go with this. I put this back up here so you see what Michael says here. The last sentence is my starting point. He said he should have been suspended. He was not suspended. He was rewarded. He just signed an extension for $32 million last week. So to answer your question, is do you see the end? That's all going to be dependent upon Shannon Sharp, because Fox obviously has said we stand behind this dude 100%. You don't reward somebody like that if you are really offended by that. They were not offended. I think Shannon said, if you remember his response, Shannon, when he was talking to Skip, he said the boss called you for that. The boss probably did, but what did he call him for? Did he call him for contract negotiations? Or did he call him to say, hey man, you wrong, man?
Well, Skip also said in response, not to cut you off big time, but in response to that, that he was like the boss. He was like they weren't disappointed in me, like they didn't, like he didn't get punished. Like essentially what you're saying, like he said it.
Yeah.
So
he said it, and then let's keep in mind he said that stuff, and I'm just giving the history on Skip because we pointing in the wrong direction. Skip was saying this type of stuff when he was at ESPN.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But what the people have messed up on is that they have gotten some mistaken identity. And I'm saying that because of this. Previous to First Take really going the way that it went, there were different co-hosts every day. And on Wednesdays, Stephen A. Smith showed up. Wednesdays obviously was the highest rated shows for First Take, which means Skip took advantage and said, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna kind of use this main talent. Let me ask him to come every day." What happened? When that happened, First Take became the #1 show on ESPN. He went then and used the same blueprint and got another dude that can flat out talk, that is a flat out entertainer.
Hold on, Doug.
Stephen A. was.
Let's be honest. He's another dude of the same what? Same
color. I ain't want to go there, right? But that's obvious. I want say that. But check it out. So he used that same thing. And if the truth be told, who really is the stars of the show? I say Stephen A. Smith was, and I'm surely gonna say Shannon Sharpe was. Skip is along for the ride, but he gets all the credit. They gave him kind of creative control, but he knows he can't do it by himself. We saw that the day after he was when Shannon missed it, he tried to carry the show by himself, and it was boring as all outdoors. So he needs Shannon. So to answer the original question, if there will be a breakup, Freddie, it's gonna be because of Shannon. It's not gonna be because of Skip, because they just gave Skip $32 more million.
That's just so frustrating. It really is. And I'm not going to go fully detailed in this because we are trying to do big things here at the Sports Empire Network. We are trying to get into collegiate level and all that. And I don't want to jeopardize us getting the bag. But this is what I say all the time. There's certain folks that can do certain things that other folks can't. That's all I'm going to say.
There it is.
But this is just another example of it. Because if the shoe was on the other foot,
they'd be gone.
Shannon Sharpe would
suspended immediately.
Immediately.
He been suspended immediately.
They would have called him this as soon as after he hit send 5 seconds later, he'd have got a call.
Because I'm gonna tell you an example. They would have treated him just like Will Smith. Remember how Will Smith slapped Chris Rock? But nobody talked about Dana White slapping his wife. Nobody wanted to cancel Dana White.
Nobody.
Why not?
Let's go back to the beginning though, Fred and Sensei. Let's go back when DeMar went down. I think it was Coach Herm Edwards that say, "Don't press send." Don't press send.
Yep.
He did his tweet without knowing what was actually going on. He tweeted before the Joe Buck said they're using CPR. So you're not even responsible enough to wait and see before you put it out. That's what made him look so horrible.
And that's the thing. It's not necessary, because if you think about it in hindsight, had he said what he said maybe 3 or so days later, or a couple, however long later, not in that particular moment, he wouldn't have got backlash for it, because what he particularly said wasn't wrong. It's just the fact that at the time where this man is not breathing, where they're doing CPR more than once, where that's not the time to care about football and seeding and how important the game is. The game. Like this boy, he's 24. That boy is fighting for his life. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a time to tweet about that. And he's still like he doesn't get it.
Check it out, Sensei. He took it, and Freddie, he took it as if this man was getting carted out on a cart. No, sir.
Yeah.
He was carted out in an ambulance.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Yeah, it's a huge difference.
It's like night and day. But he had put the tweet out earlier, and that's what brought all the fire. If he would have waited to actually hear what was going on, I don't think he, I don't know.
Not at all.
I don't think he would put it out there, because it's just too irresponsible. But he paying the price for it. But look here, y'all. We can complain and say whatever we want to say. Fox just gave that man $32 million. So you think he ain't changing? That was about the closest thing he done got to actually getting shut down to me. But they gave him more money, so he think he cool with it.
Because he is. Because there's a Skip Bayless ain't the only person who thought like that. He just was the only person that put it out in the world. Fox is. They think similar to what. That's why they offered him all that money.
You know what?
All the executives are just like him.
You know what? Sensei, look at this comment right here. If y'all were following the tweet line, as soon as he found out what was really going on, then he come back with the apology tweet or trying to fix it.
And even the next day when Shannon didn't show up and he tried to, he started the show with that what Skip does. Like when he know he did something wrong, but he ain't gonna apologize for it. But so he gonna make you feel like he feel bad that, I'm wrecked. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're pandering to the people that are upset with you, but you don't care.
Nope. All right, let's move to another topic. To one. We're going to talk about the GOAT.
Hold on, I got to get something for this. Y'all go ahead.
This is very, very interesting. I hope she don't think this is one of them, we're going to talk about him passing Kareem. He ain't done that yet, but I actually wanted to talk about what he said in his press conference.
Go ahead.
She got that drip on her.
Go ahead. You were saying.
I actually want to talk about what he said in his post-game conference against the Miami Heat a few weeks ago. By the way, Condman is pretty happy that he said, it's about to go down. He know we better talk some hoops. When it comes to hoops, Condman is the guy. By the way, Happy New Year's to you guys. How dare I start the show and I say Happy New Year's to Sensei and Doug. Happy New Year's.
Man, we here.
I'm gonna read off a quote. This is after a loss to the Miami Heat, 112-98. And it says, "I'm a winner," James said, "and I want to win and give myself a chance to win and still compete for championships. And I know it takes steps to get there. But once you get there and know how to get there, playing basketball at this level, just to be playing basketball is not in my DNA. It's not in my DNA anymore. I think about how I don't want to finish my career playing at this level from a team aspect. I'll still be able to be competing for championships because I know what I can still bring to any ball club with the right pieces." Now, I'm gonna educate the viewers to all of our relationships to the Lakers, to LeBron. To me and Doug, we was born into this. Mm-hmm. We was born into the purple and gold. We grew up. Doug, a little bit older than me, he grew up watching the era of Magic and the Showtime with Kareem and those guys, and followed through the Kobe and still here. I grew up with the Kobe and Shaq. Sensei here, she been following that man since he entered. He was in the city of Akron, Ohio.
That's correct.
Down there in Cleveland as a young buck. And by the way, I called Savannah and I told Savannah to keep an eye out on you, man. So, I'm just saying. I'm
trying to be friends with Savannah. She ain't got nothing to worry about. I just want to be homies. That's it.
Okay, I let her know you ain't trying to cause no trouble. Who do we blame for LeBron let's be honest, being on a team? And I hate to talk about it because we've been seeing a lot of growth with this team for the last couple of games. Thomas Bryant has been playing like a beast, been playing crazy.
Man, yes.
Dennis Schroeder is finally coming back to that guy that, is being consistent. And Russ is being Russ. But who do we blame for LeBron and being in the position that he's in now? Whoever want to go first and take it. I'm just sit back, eat my popcorn, and enjoy it.
Big time, you go first. I went first last time.
we were talking about this like we were talking about the Cowboys, most of you guys will say Jerry Jones. If we were talking about the New York Knicks, you guys would say Nolan. I hope y'all catching where I'm going.
Yeah.
You got to go to Jenny Buss. The buck. I heard her father say that the buck stops here with me, with the team back when he was running the Lakers. I blame Jenny for this. Number one, I'm not blaming LeBron. LeBron is LeBron. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to win. He's won. You can't say nothing about him. The unfortunate thing about LeBron is that he's in a new era of basketball where the players pretty much empower organizations. And in his case, teams going back even to Cleveland have kind of let him kind of put teams together. You can't argue with it because teams that he's put together, he's won. He's won championships, so you can't knock it. However, in this case, you have to stand your foot up sometime. That's where the owner comes into play. I blame Jenny Buss really because of this. The buck stops with her as it did with her father. So you messed up by hiring a guy who was just an agent as a general manager. He was just an agent. He had no basketball experience other than having an association with Kobe Bryant. I'm talking about Rob Pelinka. So when you don't have the greatness covering and messing up covering mistakes, then we got to find out how really good you are at basketball. I can't give it to him. Magic Johnson put together LeBron and with the intentions of bringing AD there. It wasn't Rob Pelinka. It's kind of like Barry Switzer riding Jimmy Johnson's coat strap winning the Super Bowl with his players. It was easy to do that. But the buck stopped with Jenny. You're going to have to take back reins on this organization. LeBron is older, still a great player, no doubt. But you're going to have to take back because, LeBron going to leave. He already kind of told you what's getting ready to happen in a couple of years. Wherever his son is going, that's where he's going to want to go. And even if you got him under contract, he's going to ask for a trade. He's going to want to go where his son is. You're going to give it to him. Where does that leave the Lakers after that? I mean, so you're going to eventually have to take back over on what's going on. So we're talking about player personnel. Rob Pelinka don't know what he's doing. That's what I'm saying. He don't know what he's doing. You just hoping and wishing. You may be bringing LeBron in, but you don't put yourself in a position. You don't have assets to trade. Trade it all away your assets. All of that goes back to the owner. She's the ultimate responsibility. And even if it means that you got to stand up to LeBron, you have to do that now. This is not the 25, 26-year-old LeBron where you may have to make some concessions. This is a 38-year-old man who ain't going to be playing ball no more than 2 or 3 years. I mean, come on now. Sooner or later, you got to take back control. That's who I blame it on, Jenny.
I'm going to tell you, I blame Jeannie Buss as well, but for different reasons. I love Jeannie Buss, so I want to make sure I say this. I love her because she's sweet. She's a nice lady. She's been in love with the Lakers forever. But she's not her daddy. Let me repeat that. She is not Dr. Jerry Buss. Just like Mr. Gary Bryant said, the Rambis family too. She has put people in her inner circle to run this organization while she's busy doing everything else. I heard she's into some women's wrestling. Jeannie, you have a mess going on over here. She's even engaged right now. I mean, out of all this time, she get engaged. To some comedian. Hey, it's cool. You worried about your love life. It's cool. I'm not knocking you. But Jeannie, if you're not worried about running, taking care of your business, then you need to give it up to somebody. And I'm gonna propose a question to Sensei in big time. Take away the championship. Take away the championship. What has Jeannie Buss done that Jim Buss didn't do? I'll wait.
Sensei, you got it.
I mean, listen. I don't even have an answer for that. I don't have an answer for that.
I'm just
I
being
do.
honest. She have not. If you take away the championship, they both have not been successful. They have both not done the things that their father has done. I'm to the point either you do two things: you give it, let the younger brother do it, give him a chance to run it and see what he can do, or two, just sell it, just sell the team. You bring in Rob Pelinka, and I'm gonna tell you the only reason Rob Pelinka got the job because no other team was going to hire the man, not one. The only reason I believe they went to Kobe, they wanted Kobe to take the position. Kobe's like, no, I don't want. Kobe was the type of dude, he didn't want to be front and center. He didn't want that. He did not want that type of role. And he would tell you that. Kobe's like, okay, put him here, and I will do a lot of things, help behind the scenes. I believe Kobe was helping on that aspect of things. But RP, rest in peace, Kobe B. Bryant. We all seen what happened, and then we just been stuck with Rob Pelinka. We seen the loyalty between Genie and Magic. Um, you know, Genie chose Rob Pelinka over Magic Johnson for some reason, and we seen how that unfolded. And right now, LeBron has been stuck by the name of Anthony Davis. We all know how talented AD is. Nobody ever questions his talent, but they don't know will he be able to stay out of street clothes. I mean, this is a guy that was on a tear, literally on a tear before he got hurt. I mean, this dude was dominated. I mean, giving you 35, 15, 2 or 3 blocks, like dominating. Um, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to those draft picks real quick in a minute. But Anthony Davis is a problem. Russ. Even though I gotta commend Russ, I think it's time to show Russ some love because I killed Russ last year. I really did because the way he played, then his attitude, the way he played. But Russ, you're talking about sacrifice, ladies and gentlemen. That's a true sacrifice. This is a guy that is showing that it's all about the team. Do whatever it takes to win. He comes out and he battles. He's playing good. You got to give it the bad. He's gonna turn the ball over, but he's giving you a lot more positive as of late. So, but I'm gonna go to these draft picks. I'll tell you the reason why the Lakers haven't traded those draft picks. They probably went to LeBron and said, "We promise you that we will draft your son. That we will find a way. We will find a way to get Bronny on the Lakers."
That's not good though.
Not ask for a trade.
That's not good. I mean, you don't let a player run your organization when he only gonna be playing 1 year. Okay, after LeBron, once he played it 1 year, get his son feet wet in the league and teach him how to be a pro. Okay, guess what? What after that?
But just like I know, we did the same thing to Kobe, bro. We did the same thing to Kobe. Towards Kobe later years, guess what we did? We marketed that. Guess what? The final season, the farewell tour. Guess what that did? That brought money to him. Jeannie Buss want LeBron to retire as a Laker. They're doing the same thing to him that they did to Kobe.
I don't know if you're getting quiet because you want me to go in, but listen.
Gone.
I mean, good Lord. I mean, first of all, last time I checked, help me out, Sensei. Help me out.
Okay.
I already know what Freddie gonna say, but last time I checked, I don't care what job you do. Most times people, especially in this job as being a general manager, don't you need some type of experience in basketball to coach? I mean, help me. I didn't say experience on negotiating contracts. That's what Rob Pelinka was doing. I thought to be a general manager, you had to know how to, work the salary cap, know about draft picks, if you're going to trade, how to stack draft picks, how to relinquish them, all this type of stuff. This man didn't know nothing about that. Magic Johnson did. Where was his? I even heard a position, Sensei, you work with the Kings. Please help me understand this. In the Sacramento Kings organization, I know there's a general manager.
Indeed.
An assistant general manager as well. Okay. Has Rob Pelinka even been an assistant general manager?
Nope.
Okay, so what is he even qualified to hold the position that he have? And I know this gonna sound real harsh, but this 3 Shots of podcast. One thing about it, you got to tell the truth. I'm a Laker fan, love him to death. But if Rob Pelinka's way into the Lakers organization, and the thing that covered him was Kobe Bryant, ladies and gentlemen, Kobe Bryant is gone now. So if that was there to cover him, what's covering him now? Magic is gone. Kobe is gone. What I mean, so now we get to see the true talent of Rob Pelinka in their position. And ladies and gentlemen, it's trash. That comment that just came up earlier. 2027 before you get a first round pick. What? I mean, this is not good. We have to make sure that we trying to build a future. And if we waiting on just pleasing LeBron for just picking up Bronny, first of all, is Bronny a first round pick? Hello.
Not yet.
I already heard, he's good, but he ain't lottery good. Lottery pick good. I've heard he's good. The younger son is who they're slobbering over already. Bronny is a good point guard. He's good enough probably to play in the league. But is he, if the Lakers end up, lower pick, Bronny ain't no top 5 pick. Bronny ain't no top 15 pick. And if you're gonna force the Lakers to pick him up, that is, you ain't got no future. Go ahead, Sensei. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So a few things. As far as when it comes to where to properly place blame, I think it can be evenly spread between Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss. Like Big Time just said, Rob Pelinka doesn't have any experience in this position. He got the position off the strength of Kobe. But even though Kobe is no longer here, I think he still has that position because of that fact. Unfortunately, I think there's this kind of hovering, like everybody knows Rob Pelinka doesn't belong in that position. Everybody knows Rob Pelinka has not been good in that position. But it's he was best friends with Kobe. And so that's the sole thing that if anything, if nothing else, that particular fact right there is going to keep him in that job, unfortunately. Now, Jeannie Buss, I don't know what her focus is. I don't know where her focus is. Like Freddie alluded to, she's got a lot of other stuff going on that don't really concern the best interest of the Lakers. And you know what I'm saying, and it's showing in the decisions that they've made in the past couple of years since Bron has been there, and Bron is voicing his frustrations because, like he said, as a guy who has won at every stop, he knows what it takes. He knows what and if you've been following Bron long enough, you know what it takes to build a team around Bron. Surround him with shooters. Give him somebody that he could dump off for 2 inside, and they can do it like a pick and pop. That is the winning LeBron formula for a championship. Every single team that he's gone to has had those things. So the fact that the Lakers haven't grasped onto that, especially after they already won the championship with that kind of that team structure, is mind blowing to me. So I'm thinking about it in this sense. Are they pretty much gonna let LeBron just ride off into the sunset to where either he's gonna force a trade and go elsewhere, and they're just gonna focus on the future, or like I'm not exactly sure what their aim is at this point. Like they don't have a really well thought out plan, in my opinion. It's just kind of a bunch of stuff thrown together in a pot, and it's like, LeBron, make it work. And that's not fair to him because as great as he is, he's not 25 anymore. Like he's playing exceptionally well at 38. And I love to see that. However, he's also 38. Like he's not going to be able to sustain that for the duality of the season and then going into a playoff push. He needs assistance. As great as he is, he needs help. He does. And salute to Russ. Russ has been playing a lot better as of late. He almost gave me a heart attack yesterday in the Kings game because he had so many turnovers. But I will salute that he's had these past 5 games that they have won. He's played great. Dennis Schroeder has obviously stepped up and played great. Thomas Bryant listen, hey, bro, you are earning your spot, sir, because he has been playing like a man on a mission, and I respect the hell out of that. But this isn't going to be enough. You got to run it. Like they are in the West. They got the Suns to worry about, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, the Clippers, even still the Kings. Like there's a lot of teams that have a lot of talent, and they're not gonna the way this team is currently constructed. They're not making no serious run in the playoffs. So if they don't make any changes, it's gonna be another burnout, and you know what I'm saying, everybody's gonna be finger pointing when we know what the root of the problem is. What are we gonna do to fix it?
Speaking of that, Fred, and I know you're ready to go, but speaking of that, let's just look at it. Even though Jeannie was not in position to where she is now, she was alive and in the organization when her father was alive winning. She was there in the organization, much of a lesser role, obviously, but she was there. So she could see how to run the business. One of the lessons that she's already failed in is following her father's footsteps. When Dr. Bus was running it, everybody that's a Laker fan knows that he turned over all basketball stuff to Jerry West. Jerry West made the decisions for the team, the roster. Jerry West made it. And I say that to say this. She's already broken that, because my understanding now that it done came down is that she is the one that stopped the trade for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. It was not Rob Pelinka. It was her. You can't pick and choose when you want to run the show and when you don't want to run the show. Let the basketball people and let the basketball people do what basketball people do. The trade was set up. I give Rob Pelinka a little credit there. The trade was there. She said no because she saw Russell Westbrook there and started thinking about all the money, of course. Which I guess, as an owner, you got to make your decision. Do you want to win or do you just want to make money? And so I don't know where she is on that. She just need to follow her father's footsteps, but it may be too late for that.
Yes, sir. I got one last topic. As everybody, we just got done talking about a GOAT. We're going to talk about another GOAT. And the America's team is headed to Tampa next week. I just had to do it. I just had
Big time. Don't let him disrespect you like this.
I'm gonna let him finish talking.
You guys see that good looking graphic right there. It's a real good graphic. Got the America's team new logo. I would think. They're going into Tampa next week. Big time. Are you a little scared? You going against GOAT Brady? You a little scared? Are you a little scared?
No, I'm not scared at all. But my fan base probably are scared, and we give full respect and honor to Tom Brady for what he is and what he has done. That cannot be denied. Even though it's a difference between regular season Brady and playoff Brady, we realize that. But look, when it comes to the playoffs, you can't run. It's no hiding spot. So you can't avoid it. It was, whoever. Everybody's good. Everybody made the playoffs, had a good year. So it's no running. It is what it is. We got to get ready for Tampa Bay now. We did not look good at all today. That's not a good way to go into the playoffs. But next week is next week. The intensity level goes up. We got to go see Mr. Brady. Somebody had to go see him. Hey, it's not our fault that, a 12-5 record didn't win the division this year. Usually that wins your whole division. Probably get you almost a number one seed. It took a special year from Philadelphia to make a great record be, a fifth seeded record. That's bottom line. But I'm not worried about it. Hey, it is what it is. You got to go. If you want to be a champion, you got to beat the best. Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever live. You got to go slay the dragon. It ain't nothing to talk about. Either you gonna win or you gonna take your butt home. And then I'm about to get on here every week from now on talking about how the Cowboys pulled it again and how they did this and all that. So it is what it is. Bring home the Buccaneers. Ain't nobody scared.
All right. Well, Sensei, how do you feel about Dallas playing against the GOAT? You think they need to be a little nervous, or are you pretty confident that Mr. Dakota Prescott can take care of that business?
Listen, I don't trust nothing Dakota Prescott say. I don't trust nothing he do. I can't trust him as far as I can throw him, and I can't throw him that daggone far. But what I will say is, obviously, you can never count Tom Brady out. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. Until Tom Brady loses, it's not a safe bet to count him out. However, there's a lot of things that have to go right for Tampa Bay to beat Dallas. And Dallas has to do literally probably everything that they could possibly do wrong for them to lose to Tampa. Now, what I will say is this. I wouldn't say they shouldn't go into that game and have zero fear. Because like I said, at the end of the day, this is Tom Brady, and the Buccaneers have been hitting their stride a little bit the last couple of games. However, this is a do or die game for Dallas. They can't make the playoffs again and lose in the first round again, because at that point, I think some big changes need to be made, because it's been the same thing every single year. Making the playoffs ain't good enough, especially for a storied franchise like the Dallas Cowboys. So they have to win this game against Tom Brady. I think they can do it, but then again, the Dallas Cowboys are like the Clippers. And Kerry Champion once said, Clippers gonna clip. And Cowboys, sometimes they gonna cowboy. So we gonna see. But if I have to pick who I got winning, I'm gonna go with Dallas. But I'm not gonna be surprised if Tom Brady pull a Tom Brady now. So listen, Dallas, if you know what's good for you, play like you got some sense, or else it's gonna be all bad.
Listen here, all year long, I go to work and these Cowboy fans telling me about who they are. Did you see us? Did you see us? Did you see what we did? Oh, we that team. Nobody can stop us. We coming. And all I tell them is, have your fun, because I will have my time. And how did I not know my time will be next Sunday? Christmas is here. I'm getting to unwrap my Christmas gifts, and I cannot wait. Doug, I don't want to hear about you having to go do this for a job. I don't want to hear you have to go do this reason why you can't do the show. I can't wait. I'm gonna love it. And better yet, you know how we gonna start the show? We're gonna let you start the show. I'm not gonna say a word. I'm just sit back, I'm gonna relax, and I'm gonna be like, okay, well, what happened? I want you to give us an explanation of why that your America's team could not be so great in America. And I'm gonna say, I can't wait. It's coming. Because we all know when the pressure rise, y'all fold like cheap tents that y'all are. We all know that.
Well, or I could start the show I was saying next. We shut down Tom Brady. So who's next? I could be coming on the show since you're gonna start it off with me. I could be starting it off that way. You just totally eliminating it. But I ain't gonna knock you down, Freddie, because you sound like Stephen A. Smith. You adopted his theory. The Cowboys are the only team that don't do nothing but get a chance to win the Super Bowl. You can't have a good year at all. Everybody else want to talk, oh, what a great year, Jacksonville. Oh, my God. They've come up. Everybody else get to have, they had a pretty good year. Cowboys, y'all put the goalposts up and say, first of all, see, we done shut you down, Freddie. Because, see, I remember that meme you put out, that Kevin Hart meme, September, you smile. October, you smile. Then November, your face started changing. And then in December, your face started, it's completely done. We shut all that down. You know what I'm saying? That we won 12 games just in case. We ain't just win 5 games this year, you understand? So we won 12 this year. Now we changed it up and saying, here we go with the playoffs. If we win next week, you're going to say, oh, I already can tell you what you're going to say. Oh, they just setting you up a little bit more so the fall could be deeper. That's what you're going to say after we beat the Bucks on Sunday. So I'm just going to let you have it. That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm going to say is, Christmas is coming soon, and I'm ready to unwrap my gifts. That's all I'm going to say.
Make sure now, but I ain't want to bring this up, but you change teams every week, so So I mean, please don't be celebrating when your team done lost too.
We losing, and we playing Minnesota, I believe. Next
You're
week.
playing Minnesota, so you know you should have some heartbreak in your heart, but you ain't really worried about the Giants.
You
You just worried about the Cowboys.
But you know what it is? It's not heartbreak. It's happy. It's joy because we get to sniff the moment. But y'all have been sniffing the moment for how long? And for 27 years. You've been irrelevant, sir. I mean, hey, my dude, you had a Jerry curl up there, had probably had
you know what's funny about that? You know, I hate to do this. I mean, you know what's funny about that? I don't even count you, Freddie. I don't even know who you stand with. So I mean, I leave that alone.
You know who I stand with.
These 49er fans got to keep in mind. See, y'all don't concentrate on the wrong thing. You do realize that the Cowboys' last Super Bowl win was in 1995. Okay, we get that.
So long ago.
Yeah, but the 49ers' last Super Bowl win was 1994.
But guess what they don't do? They don't portray themselves as America's team. Their fans don't ride around act there like they all the stuff. They don't sit around here.
We don't either. We just like you doing right now. You're not a fan of the Cowboys. You don't like them, but you're closing the show with the most rated. If you want to get some ratings, you talk about the Cowboys. That's what ESPN do. That's what Fox does every day. They don't talk about nobody else every day except the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys sneezed too hard. It's a story. The Dallas Cowboys tripped over a shoe. It's a story. That's what you're doing right now. So it's not a surprise that you would pick the Cowboys to finish up the show or whatever.
You know why? You know why I do that?
Because we're the most valuable franchise in the world. Those are facts.
No, because I truly love the Cowboys. I really, really do. Because when I'm down and out, I turn on the Cowboys to get a laugh. When I need some inspiration and I need something to lift me, I turn on the Cowboys.
You ain't laugh too much this year, Fred.
Oh, I laughed today. I was watching Washington. And I'm looking at Dak throw all these interceptions, the pick six. I'm seeing them hike the ball. I'm laughing. These are the things that I just can't make up, Doug. I mean, I'm enjoying this. And Kwanzaa Camp, Sensei might not say it, but she's enjoying it too.
Honestly, I mean, my mom is a Cowboys fan, so it is a little bit enjoyable when the Cowboys don't perform up to standards because she always calls me upset and she just be so mad, and it'd be so funny. But I mean, like I said, at the same time, I want y'all to be successful because I'm surrounded by Cowboys fans myself. But what y'all do to yourselves every single year, and big time, you may not do this, but most Cowboy fans be like, we going to the Super Bowl this year. We're going to the Super Bowl this year. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
No, this is what Doug
and
used
it's
to
like,
say. This is what he do. Ladies, this is how he did. He did it on the show. He said, ladies, I'm gonna get my deep voice like Doug. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be the year.
I don't never say that. I'm the most realistic Cowboy fan that you ever say.
I'm gonna find the footage. I'm gonna find it.
You ain't gonna find it because I can already tell you're gonna waste a good bit of your time because I'm the one that always call them out. Like on tomorrow's show, when I do my show, I'm gonna talk about them so bad tomorrow, it's gonna make your head spin. It's gonna make you spin like that. Say it again.
Can I come on the show?
No, we don't need it's just like a child. I take care of my own child. I don't need you to you abuse them. I know you're gonna abuse them. I ain't gonna abuse them. I'm gonna talk bad about them. See, I earned the right to talk bad about them and talk good about them. So tune in tomorrow night for those all y'all haters that want to hear somebody talk about them. Y'all tune in tomorrow night at 7:00. I'll be there.
All right, you guys. I want to wish everybody Happy New Year. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, following us. Just stay tuned. We have a lot of big things coming in the near future, so stay tuned. Want to thank Doug. Want to thank Sensei. This is the Three Shots Podcast. We'll be back every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next week.
Hold on. If the Cowboys playing Sunday at 6 of the late game, I won't be here.
I got a question. Can we do a watch along then?
Are you gonna be watching?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be watching on with my show?
Yeah.
Then we ain't watching. Next question.
Why not? I want to be on there. I want to talk the game with you, Doug.
No, because you're gonna drive big time up a wall, boy. You ain't finna work. You ain't finna worry.
Don't worry about it. Once we start scoring, he'll leave. He said,
Hey,
"I got a phone call."
My dude Doug's a preacher. He might have to ask for forgiveness after that stream.
Yeah, that's why I don't do watch parties, because I may say some things that ain't necessarily associated with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You understand? I mean, it don't associate. I might bust my TV. I might see me throwing something around. So no, I'm not gonna put myself out like that. Freddie trying to set me up. That's all it is.
I would just love to bond with my people, and I was just thought we watching football.
Freddie, you so daggone petty. If you don't go on somewhere with that,
don't worry about it. I put him in his place. I'm just letting him talk right now.
Better yet, bitch. Better yet, Doug, I got a better idea. I have my grandmother. I don't know if I told you. My nana. She lives in Tennessee. I could go visit her, but I can come watch the game with you.
I wish you would. You come in. I see you one day. You ain't gonna see me on that day. You come shake my hand. That's about it. But I ain't gonna. No, sir.
All right, y'all. It's been another good episode. Until next week, maybe if the Cowboys get the prime time. I don't know why they would get the prime time. But
I'm gonna be on. What you what? What?
I don't know why they would get the prime time.
Freddie, please let me tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna end up happening. And I know we'll close it right here. This probably what's going to happen on a serious note.
Mm-hmm.
Monday night. There's a game that's scheduled for Monday night next week in a playoff game. If you want to see an all-time rating, you put the Cowboys and the Buccaneers on Monday night and watch what happens. You talking about ratings. That is going to be the one. The whole world will be watching on Monday night. You bring and actually it kind of makes sense because the last 2 seasons in a row, the NFL season opened with the Cowboys against the Buccaneers. Well, not this year because the Super Bowl champion started off on that Thursday, but the Cowboys started both years off against Brady. The first year after they won the Super Bowl, they
what's our record since then?
Since when?
Playing against Brady, what's our record been?
We ain't never beat Brady. New England and Buccaneers combined. Brady, I think they say is 8-0 against the Cowboys over his career.
Golly.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's Brady we talking about. He got a winning record against everybody. But I wouldn't be surprised for it to go back that it we're not playing on Monday night. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back. Maybe Doug let me come watch the game with him. We'll see. All right, y'all.
All right.